I don't think that part of it is the sheer difference in sizes.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about your mom.
Yeah.
And from the from your high school years on.
Okay. Okay. Well, in the first place, my mother was highly intelligent, and she was, you know, in a partnership with my dad that worked, and they had friends who enjoyed my mother, although my dad was the funny one, but they loved being, a foursome as couples. So my mother had that kind of a relationship in the community that people know. And in fact, one of those coupling things was the principal that my mother worked for got to know my father somehow. So he and his wife and dad and mom, they were a foursome for some things, which is a very unusual thing. Principals don't usually do that, with the people that work under them. But because my father was such people like to be with my father. Yeah, okay. Now, did you ask something and I'm just meandering?
What was your relationship with her like?
My mother?
Yeah.
It was a lot of conflict. I'm going to go for that part first, okay? Now, I know that that's the later part. I know that as a mother with a baby or a very young child, she was exactly the right mother. She knew everything that you would do to encourage a child, help a child mature, grow up. But once that child began to question, child began to think, wait a minute, you know what? She said blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, and then I say out loud, that's stupid. Now, can you imagine a mother who is actually shorter by that time, by this person, having this person, your child, telling you, that's stupid? Well, I used the language that came to my head. But my point was, that came up at a time when my mother was telling me reasons why I couldn't go someplace with my friends who were going that place. And she would start with one thing, you certainly can't do that because, and then I would have my counter argument which would overcome hers. And then she would say, well, it doesn't matter because it's too late anyway, which would be a lot of times what happened. And I would say, it's not. All I have to do is call so-and-so and she'll pick me up. So my mother saw herself as all that was standing between me and me making stupid mistakes. In fact, maybe life-altering mistakes. I think her fear was so great that even that life-altering mistakes came to mind. And so that was the way we got pitted against each other. And of course, I'm sure that happens to a lot of teenagers or preteens. And and what didn't help was that I was already, how tall am I? I got to be, 7 feet? But I was probably already, 5.5, and she was 3.5. No, she was 4.5. I mean, she was already shorter than, I was taller than she was. So I think to her, it's like she felt so helpless. I mean, helpless is the only word. That this child needs to be saved because she's going to make huge mistakes. She's going to hurt herself and maybe ruin her life. And I can't do anything about it. And I think that because the other person, the other adult, my father, didn't see things the way she did. He didn't see everything as terrifying. He saw things as, people have to make a step toward maturity, and they sometimes have to do it through their own experience. And you know her, she's smart enough, you've lived with her long enough to know that she has some ability to reason, and as long as we get her home by 11 o'clock at night, we'll have the situation under control. But I think the key word here is control. My mother felt, and actually I agreed with her, that I was beyond her control. She couldn't control my thoughts, my way of perceiving the world. And if I had my way, she couldn't control my activities. And that there were too many circumstances where I'm out with a boyfriend. She's not going to be able to control that. I'm out doing no matter what, with whom. So
at which point in your life did you feel like your relationship with her was strained the most?
When did it start?
Well, did it peak at a certain point, or did it kind of achieve a plateau and maintain that stress? Or did you?
I think that until I went to college, she was always trying. She was always worrying. She was always afraid of what decisions I was going to make. And, the truth is, for teenagers, there's danger. You can make a dangerous decision. Somebody you're with makes a dangerous decision and drives, they've been drinking or something. Those dangers are out there. She wasn't wrong about that. And I think it was only, when I actually had left and gone to college that she could release herself from the burden of feeling that she should be able to figure out some way to keep me safe. Only when I was off there, that was when it ended. Wow. Yeah.
Where did you go to college?
I beg your pardon?
Where did you go to college?
Where? It's called Cornell University. It's in Ithaca, New York, and what's the name of all those big shot? Not the General Cat.
Catskills?
The
Catskills?
No.
Adirondacks?
No, don't say that because I'm not looking for the physicality of it. There is a common terminology, Ivy League. It was an Ivy League. I couldn't come up with Ivy League. I hadn't said it in so long. But Cornell University was part of Cornell University, because a university has a lot of different kinds of things. But in it, the arts part, liberal arts part, was part of the Ivy League. Our football team played Ivy League teams, so which is how you understand, how you know. But anyway, so that's it. And so your question was, how long did she worry about me or something, or?
Just wondering how your life changed. How was life different on the campus of a college from being on a farm, growing up on a farm?
First of all, I've always loved learning. Okay, so right up there on top. And I guess just lack of parents was so perfect. You know. Wait a minute. I had a roommate. Okay, so I wasn't lonely. I had a roommate. We hadn't chosen each other, but we got along. And I loved all the new things that I was learning. I mean, it's a really damned good school. There was nothing that disappointed me about the classes, about the things I was learning, and I loved the campus. I mean, Cornell University is, on the hill, and there are all these other schools in a university, of course. There are the ag school and this school and that school. So and of course, then there are games that, all the football games, and mostly football and hockey. But, so, what's not to love? I've got a whole new universe. I know that I'm smart enough to that I can hang on to it. Look at the people that are here. Look at these people. And look at these teachers. Look at these professors. Look at these books. So it's...
Your mother must have certainly been proud of you. Your mother must have certainly been proud of you getting into Cornell.
Yeah. I mean, Mom was always proud of my academic achievements. She was always proud of that. It was all the other stuff, all the other stuff. So, sure. And, I think so, though, that, see, when I was out of the house, she and Dad had a whole new household relationship, really. They didn't have me to argue about. Oh my God. Sally, you can't keep her from doing everything, you've got to let her do, blah, blah, blah. So, so the same time that I was off to school, there was this whole wonderful thing happening, in their marriage, I guess you'd say. So I don't know how I got there from what you asked, but.
Well, so continuing your relationship with your mother, did it continue to be stressful or conflict based, or did you ultimately, as you matured?
I think that what happened was that she had no influence over me. Okay, first of all, I was there. Secondly, I had all sorts of other influences there. And maybe some of them were frightening, but basically they were good. Okay, so she could sort of relax back on the good parts of it anyway. And
so this was the late 50s, early 60s, I guess.
4 years, whatever.
Yeah.
So I think that I think with me out of the house, she and Dad could become closer to the point where Mom stopped rejecting his ideas about, Jeannie will take care of herself, you don't have to worry about her. She had, fought that. And I think that, okay, look at this. And I was writing home a lot. I wrote home a lot. I did that, to let them know, okay, this is what's going on. This is great. I am so happy, and I just learned this, or, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so that getting away to college stuff was a key for my mom and me.